Hi everyone, my name's Allison and I am your Vinted Value Mama. It's January 2025, Happy New Year, and that means it's time to talk about my December Vinted haul. If you've been watching these videos, you know I've been slowly picking up a few things here and there to try and make a winter capsule wardrobe, but it hasn't been going very well. But this month I got a lot of stuff. Some might say too much stuff for myself in order to make my capsule wardrobe a reality. I'm trying to focus on leggings and big cozy wool sweaters for this winter, and my colors are white and cream, beige and brown, and yellow and mustard. I think those should all look really good together. Now normally when I do these videos, I also talk about the things that I got for my daughter and for my husband, but this month I only got things for myself. I tried to get a wool sweater for my daughter again, and the seller didn't send it again, so we can start filling up the common problems bingo card again. And I got her a lot of things for Christmas, games and books and puzzles and that kind of stuff, but I'm going to be doing a different video about that. Today I'm just talking about clothes, and my husband convinced me that he didn't need any new clothes. So let's get started talking about me. The first thing that I want to get into is something I don't think I've covered on YouTube before, and that is accessories. So we're going to start off with these new little stud earrings that I bought for myself in December. They were really inexpensive, only €1.75, and all the prices, by the way, include shipping, include any Vinted fees, include everything. So a really cheap price for just simple little earrings. I wanted something that could go up in my second hole here that would be really minimalistic and work with any kind of earrings I wanted to put in my first hole here. And I think that they suit the purpose really well. I also got myself this new long gold necklace. Of course, it's not real gold. It is Vinted. It cost €4.29. I have another super long gold necklace that I wear a lot that I think always looks good kind of no matter what I'm wearing, and I'm really hoping that I get just as much use out of this long gold necklace too. Since it is winter time, I got myself a little beanie for staying cozy out in the snow. This one cost me €7.32, which probably doesn't sound like much, but it was actually a bit more expensive. I think it was one of the more expensive things I bought this month, and it's just a hat. But I really loved it. I love the different colors and the style. It was exactly what I was going for. I looked and looked and looked at a lot of hats on Vinted, and this was the one that I liked the most, and I thought, it's Christmas. I can spend a couple extra euros for something that I'm really going to enjoy. I really liked how this beanie has just the tiniest little specks of yellow in it, and since yellow and the brown and the beige creaminess are all colors that I'm incorporating into my capsule wardrobe, I knew that this one specifically would look great with any of the outfits that I'm putting together this winter, and that was really important to me. Now let's get into the meat and potatoes of the capsule wardrobe. Like I said, for me, that's going to be leggings and big cozy sweaters. if you watched my video from last month, you know I just couldn't get a pair of leggings to save my life. I don't know why. Nobody was shipping them. Couldn't get them. So I started off the month with this pair of brown leggings from Zara. They were really inexpensive, only €2.80 for everything, which is a great price. You know, they've got a little bit of pilling and a little bit of runs here and there, but I don't really care about that. What I'm not so crazy about is the color, which is sort of a purpley brown. It's not so purpley that they're no longer brown, but I do feel like it's a bit too purple compared to all the other colors in my capsule wardrobe. I don't know if these are really going to make the cut or if I need to find something a bit different that's going to work with absolutely every outfit that I'm throwing together. But I really liked the material. It's very sort of soft. It's the kind of material you can tell it's just going to fall apart after like a year basically. But I don't care. They're so soft and nice and I just love touching them. So, since I wasn't crazy about the color, I went on Vinted and I found the exact same leggings in sort of a creamy beige, which looks really good with all the things I'm trying to do in my capsule wardrobe. These ones were a bit more expensive. They were €3 and that's not more expensive. They were €5 and 34 cents. So a bit more expensive than the other color, but I knew that they were exactly the same leggings. It's got the same great material that I just want to touch so much, and they're in a great color. So I don't mind paying a tiny bit more if it's something that I know I'm going to get a lot of use out of. Then we've got the yellow. So sunny. These are not leggings, these are skinny jeans, but same difference. I really wanted to incorporate more yellow, not so that I can wear completely yellow from head to toe, but so that I can sort of mix and match everything in my wardrobe. So if I'm wearing my new beanie with a bit of yellow in it and my yellow pants, I'm gonna look really put together. And I think it looks great with all the yellow sweaters too. These ones were €4.29. Not expensive at all. I really liked the listing. It had the measurements, so I knew they were gonna fit me really well, and they do. I don't have to like take them up, which is a first because I'm very short. I will say, in the picture, they looked much more yellow, and I was here for it. I wanted to like rock up to my daughter's school in the yellowest pants anyone had ever seen. These ones are a bit more of a muted yellow. It's still gonna look really good in my capsule wardrobe, but not quite as much whimsy as I was trying to incorporate into my wardrobe this year. Speaking of incorporating yellow, I saw this listing for a yellow UCLA sweater, and I loved the color, loved the style of it. It was really inexpensive, €3 and 24 cents, and I thought, yeah, it's a no-brainer. It's gonna look great in my capsule wardrobe. I don't really know what happened with the UCLA sweater. I was buying it from France, so all the communication is going through Google Translate, and the seller sent me a message and was like, hey, just letting you know, I shipped this last week, you should be getting it soon. And I sent a message back and was like, well, Vinted still says that you haven't shipped it yet. So if you did, you should probably figure that out, because otherwise the order's just automatically going to cancel soon. And I guess the seller didn't do anything to figure it out, because I think the next day the order automatically canceled. The app was like, yeah, seller never shipped it. And then the seller was like, no, I did ship it. Tell them that. And I was like, I don't know if you did or not. I don't have any tracking information for this. It's being shipped to a box, and I'm not going to be able to pick it up. It'll probably just be sent back to you if you did ship it already. And the seller was like, well, when you receive it, could you buy it again? And I was like, I'm not going to receive it because I don't have any information on it and it's not coming to my house. And also, if I buy it again, then Vinted is just going to think that you didn't send it again, and it's all just going to happen again. What is the point of that? I don't understand what happened with my yellow UCLA sweater, but I do definitely know that it's not here right now. I still like the design. Maybe I'll have to go on and find another one to buy soon. But I did find plenty of other sweaters, as you can see. So let's get started with this mustard colored one. I really love the color. It's definitely like a spicy brown mustard. It's not quite what I thought it would be, but I think it looks really good with all of the other clothes that I'm trying to put together in the Capsule wardrobe. When I saw the listing, I could see the label here is from a company called Devred. It's a French thing. I don't know. I've never heard of it before. And that it was 100% extra fine merino wool. And I just happen to have almost the exact same sweater for my husband that I bought him a couple months ago. Same company, same size, same merino wool label, and that one is in black. And even though black isn't really one of my colors, I still steal it all the time because I really like the sweater. So I felt confident that I would really like this one too. I really liked that it was only €2 on Vinted before all the shipping and everything. And then I got a notification one day that the seller had dropped the price to €1. And I thought, okay, definitely gonna buy this right away then. So altogether it was €3.24. I think probably my least expensive wool sweater that I've ever bought. I really love the color. It's not the thickest wool in the whole world, but if you layer it with maybe the white wool sweater underneath, which we will come to in a moment, then it's still really nice and cozy, and it looks wonderful in the winter. So I'm very happy with this purchase. We also have another wool sweater in more of a traditional mustardy color. This one, similar story. I think it was on Vinted for €3, and then I offered the seller 2 and he accepted. So not expensive at all. With shipping and everything, I paid €4.29. But if you watched my wool video, I talked about this sweater already. I don't think it's actually wool. It's got a tag in it that says it's wool, but the tag really, really looks like it was sewn in later by someone different than the person who constructed the sweater. I don't know what to make with that. I'm gonna go ahead and put this on the bingo card as the item was counterfeit because I really don't think it's actually wool. It is still a nice cozy sweater though, in a great color that I didn't pay very much for at all, that I'm still wearing all the time. So I can't really complain about it too much. But I just can't really wrap my head around what happens. I mean, the seller sold it to me for €2. You could also just sell a normal acrylic sweater for €2. You don't have to tell anyone that it's wool. I don't know what happened here. Very strange. Next up, I've got this white cream wool sweater. It was €5.34. I really like it. Again, it's not very thick, but for layering with another sweater, putting the white under a different color, it works perfectly. It was listed as a satisfactory condition, which basically all the other sweaters were as well. For me, that means that there's a bit of pilling, a bit of evidence that it was worn before. It took me a couple days to see that it's actually been sewn up quite a bit in the shoulder here. I don't know if it had a rip or a hole or what happened, but it's definitely had some work done, and that wasn't mentioned in the listing. So I'm gonna put it on the bingo card as defects not mentioned in the listing. It doesn't bother me. I might have tried to get €1 or 2 off if I knew it had this defect, but like I said, I've still been wearing it a bunch. I think anything with white is always really beneficial in your capsule wardrobe. This last sweater over here was kind of a last minute, like, oh, I need a Christmas present for myself, because obviously I already had quite a few sweaters to choose from. But I saw this one on my recommended feed and I really loved it. I thought, okay, the color is nice. Let me check the listing and see if it's actually wool. And it is not actually wool. It is 100% camel hair, which was a new one for me. I had to Google it, but Google told me that camel hair is extremely warm, and I know that I am extremely cold. So I really wanted to try it out. It is super warm and cozy. It has just the tiniest little hole over here that I haven't even bothered to sew up yet. It was a bit more expensive than all the other sweaters I've talked about because it was €11.20. But for a nice sweater that's going to keep me cozy all winter long, I don't think that's too expensive, do you? And it's a great addition to the capsule wardrobe. Last but certainly not least, we're gonna talk about shoes. Now, generally, I only buy shoes if I'm looking for something extremely specific, because otherwise, I tend to just buy all the shoes. So I haven't gotten any shoes on Vinted in quite a while, again, because I already got so many shoes on Vinted. But my slippers for inside the house in the winter started falling apart, and I thought, good, then I can buy some new slippers. Slippers are called house shoes in German, and that's just so much better. If I say house shoes, it's because it's way easier to say than slippers. So I was in the market for some new house shoes. I knew that I wanted sort of an Uggs style, very comfortable. I knew that I wanted them to be actual shoes that are just clean, that I don't wear outside. I think that they keep me a lot warmer when I have a nice sole on them, and it's also just really convenient for if I need to go out to the garage and get some more firewood, or run out to the chicken coop because I see a fox. Relatable problems like that. I knew, of course, that I wanted them to be brown, maybe with some cream fluff to go with the other colors I've already got going on in the Capsule wardrobe. I saw these slippers, or just normal shoes, I guess, from Tamara's, which is a great brand. I've got a few pairs of those shoes, and I could see on the listing that they were actually leather on the outside, which I really liked. It adds such a nice texture and a bit more durability to the shoes, I would say. I bought them for €6.92, but the seller never sent them. So I do not have those shoes here. I went back to the drawing board with my old shoes falling apart more and more every day, and I found these ones. They're from a company called Weinbrenner, which I had never heard of, but I googled it and they seem to make pretty good quality shoes. I absolutely love the style. I love that it has this really good sole on it for if I do have to go outside, maybe take a step into the snow to grab something. They were €8.49, so just a tad more expensive than the other ones, and I don't think that the upper here is real leather. I certainly can't see anything on the shoe that says that it's real leather. But on the other hand, these shoes are actually here and the other shoes are not. So I'm happy to have them, and I've been wearing them basically non-stop since I got them. What do you think? How is my winter capsule wardrobe coming together? What do you think were the best purchases that I made this month, or the worst purchases that I made this month? Let me know in the comments below. If you want to see the common problems bingo card almost filled up, then I recommend you watch this video up here with my Vinted haul from November. And if you could please subscribe to the channel, I would really appreciate it. Thank you so much for watching. And once again, Happy New Year!